Last chance for football? Wait, what? Who's thinking about buying football in June to lock in their NFL and college football picks? Well, with the super early bird football promotion at WagerTalk and Sports Memo, we have a few reasons why. Early bird pricing for the NFL and college football combo is $8.99. Using coupon code football100, you can take $100 off, dropping the price to $7.99. If you purchase by June 30th and use coupon code football100 to get your $100 discount, we will also toss in an additional bonus. On July 4th, we'll take the highest scoring MLB game of the day and give you $10 for every run scored. Last year, 2 games put up 15 runs, so that would mean $150 in free wager bucks to use how you choose. This super early bird $100 discount using Football 100 and Wager Bucks bonus expires on June 30th with no exceptions. So if you plan to bet football this year, this is the lowest price we will offer you, so act fast and lock in your favorite football handicappers in both NFL and college football through the National Championship and Super Bowl.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to Wager Talk Today. I'm Lawrence Presman. He's Teddy Covers, and you're watching the best daily sports betting show on the planet. And, Teddy, we got a fun show today. Today, we're talking everything, man. We got Dave Cokin coming on. He's taking a look at 2 baseball games. Philadelphia Phillies, Reds, Cubs, Padres. Oh, and the Dodgers game. 3 baseball games from Dave. We got Andy Lang looking at the John Deere Classic. That's golf. We've got auto racing, British Grand Prix, and Road America, and an NFL future bet, and Kyle Anthony at the end of the show with some UFC. A whole mishmash of sports today, brother. How are you doing?
A plethora of sports betting options besides just your standard MLB for today. But I want to talk about MLB for just a minute. First, Prez, note, you came back. You jinxed me right away. Are you still hot? After I've hit 60% across sports for nearly 4 months, and now I've had back-to-back losing days. Yesterday, my team blew a pair of leads in the ballgame to lose late. Big game breakdown, lost with a $2 favorite yesterday. You're killing me, Smalls. But seriously, though, MLB, you see what happened yesterday? They waived the fees for the A's to move anywhere. Now, the Raiders had to pay $375 million to the other owners to get the joy of moving to Las Vegas. The A's were supposedly on the hook for $1 billion, but the league wants them out of Oakland, just like they wanted the Expos out of Montreal the last time a team moved, and that fee was waived as well. It's worth noting, Oakland's number 30 in MLB attendance, dead last, averaging 8,000 a game, but even that's not real. They're not averaging 8,000 a game. They had a bunch the opening week, and now they're getting like 3, 4, 5 grand a night. And that's, of course, official attendance. Actual fans are much fewer than 8,000 a night, even though that's dead last. Meanwhile, the Aviators, the AAA team here in Las Vegas, is number 1 in attendance in PCL. It's a brand new ballpark. You know, this is the dying days for the A's in Oakland. In terms of my MLB betting strategies this year, there's really nothing that's paid more dividends than betting against the A's at home, where they've been lifeless and the fans have been lifeless. And to see this move happen yesterday, but the league's like, $1 billion? No, we don't need it. You guys just get out of town. Major League Baseball is waving the white flag on baseball in Oakland. Press?
So they're coming to Vegas? Is that the plan?
That is right now. There's certainly, I would say Vegas is the chalk.
Yeah.
As to whether they're minus 150, minus $5, I couldn't tell you the right answer. But I would say that A's to Vegas has got to be chalk. We'll see what Dave Cokin thinks.
Sacramento? I mean, how many options are there on the table?
There's always options. Portland, Montreal, you know, there's teams. Nashville's been bandied about. You know, I have no idea if any of those, how real any of those are, because I don't pay any attention to it. You know, it's not anything I like when I see the headline, I don't click on those articles because I don't care. Tell me where it's going to move, and then I'll worry about it. I'm not going to try to handicap where they're going to move. But Major League Baseball is basically telling Oakland, go. Negotiate your next, your best deal. And in the meantime, we can make money continuing to bet against the A's at home, where they've been by far the worst team in baseball this year.
Yeah. Teddy Covers, everyone. And Teddy, as far as jinxing you, good news. Today's my last show for a week and 1 day, and I did win my baseball play last night. Man, I'm having a killer baseball season. So shout out to all the guys who bought my play last night under in the Braves game. I've got another one going tonight. Dave Cokin joining us, everyone. And if anyone knows anything about baseball, Dave is the man. Welcome to Wager Talk today. Do you have anything to add on the Oakland conversation?
Yeah, the big vote is today. The Howard Terminal project is being voted on today by that Bay Area Commission. I think they need 18 to 9. That would be passing. They have to get 2/3. If they get the 2/3, they're staying in Oakland. They'll get their new stadium in the waterfront. If they don't, they're gone. I obviously have no information on how they're going to vote. But the fact that baseball has waived the $1 billion relocation fee is an indication that they're acting proactively. Let's put it that way. There are other franchises that might move. Tampa Bay is going to go someplace at some point. I think Arizona is a candidate to lose the Diamondbacks. It's a spring training town. Okay, nobody goes to the games in the summer. I know the roof's closed, but it's still 1,000,000 degrees there. And it's just, sorry, it's just not a great sports town. The Coyotes don't draw. The baseball team doesn't draw. The Cardinals have done better lately. But, how many of us have watched NFL games over the years, and every time the Cowboys went to Arizona, it was like 75% Dallas fans. It's just not. University of Arizona is the franchise there. Okay?
Yeah.
Nothing else
I don't know why I don't know why they fight it. Like, 3,000 fans show up to Oakland. They're going to go spend billions of dollars making a new stadium so that for 1 year people can go visit the stadium and then get themselves back in the same damn position. Like, how stupid are these people?
It's not stupid. Oakland's stupid if they let him go. Okay, they should have built the stadium years ago. And, this is one of the biggest media markets in the country, and they are on the verge of having no professional major league sports teams. The hockey team left 1,000,000 years ago. The basketball team is now in San Francisco. The football team is here in Las Vegas, and now the baseball team could be in Las Vegas. This is what happens when you put politicians in charge. I don't care what party it is. They can screw up anything. So anyway, I think there's going to be a lot of movement in baseball over the next 10 years. I don't think they want to expand. I think they want to relocate to the best places to relocate. I think Nashville is very much on the list. I'm quite sure they want to get back into Montreal at some point. And Las Vegas is on everybody's wish list right now for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
It's along with New York City, it really, and LA, it's the event capital of the world now, or at least of America.
And I'm there a lot, which creates immense value to any city.
No question about it.
Dave, let's go, man. You're on a current 7-0 run in baseball. Everyone wants your thoughts. Philadelphia playing the Braves. I was on the under yesterday at Cash Nice. How we betting this game?
So a quick update. Year to date, all sports now 107 on the plus side. That's net, of course. And baseball have crossed the 50 mark, net profits. So it's going pretty well. As for this game, look, the Phillies had to start regressing, and I think they are. And it was accelerated, of course, by the fact that Bryce Harper got hurt. And he's going to be out for the next 6 weeks or so. He's a pretty fast healer. So I think he'll beat the projected return by a week or two. But that's a big loss. And the Braves are rolling. Nevertheless, first 5 here, and they're going to, it's minus 150. I'm not going to bet that price. But boy, Aaron Nola's pitching really good ball for the Phillies. He can contain any offense right now. And Ian Anderson just isn't putting it together for the Braves. This guy a couple of years ago in the postseason looked like he was going to be a stud. And it just hasn't happened. He's kind of a middle-of-the-rotation guy. Too many walks. Walk-to-strikeout ratio isn't real good. If you're walking more than 4 and striking out less than 8 in today's baseball, that's not too good. His hard hit rate is kind of high. So while I think the Phillies are kind of in a regression state right now, I think they probably get the win tonight. It's just the odds makers did a good job in pricing me out of it. I'm not laying 150, and I have no interest in full games, by the way. I am playing almost exclusively first five now, and for the life of me, I don't know why anybody's playing full games. If you could handicap these bullpens, you're better than I am.
Well, I handicapped them yesterday live on the show, Teddy. I literally said the J game's going to go under for the first 5 innings. There's bullpen problems. It's going to go over after, and it did. Pat on the back, Prez man. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to have a narcissistic, arrogant, egotistical moment. Over now. Teddy?
One?
One for now.
I'll take the over one.
We'll get another one in later.
For the show. So, I mean, Dave, you're when I've been asking you follow-up questions lately, you're looking at me like I got 26 heads. You're like, this is how I handicap it, and this is how I handicap it. Nonetheless, the Phillies have a losing record with Nola on the hill. You know, they've, whatever reason, haven't produced runs for him. The bullpen's crashed behind him. Last time out, he throws a gem, and the Phillies lose 1-0. Does a pitcher's one-loss record, with a team's one-loss record with a pitcher on the mound, have any factor into your handicap, or is that just, essentially random? The fact that the Phillies aren't winning consistently enough for Nola, is that an issue for you here, or is that something that's not even a factor?
I don't look at win-loss stuff. I happened to be watching a scroll last night on a game and saw that the Royals beat the Rangers and that Dane Dunning was now 1-6. I had no idea. It's like, really? He's pitched pretty good ball. So, no, if anything, I look at that stuff, I glance at it and expect regression. I mean, Nola's pitching outstanding baseball. This guy's got 1.2 walks per 9 innings, 10.2 strikeouts per 9 innings. The other analytics are strong. Luck has a tendency to go back and forth, and I'm not big on handicapping luck because I don't know how did you really determine that.
Dave, it's funny. I'm seeing my kids for lunch. I just texted them. I'll be there a hair after 1 p.m. They never heard that saying. They thought it was idiotic. Reds, Cubs, first 5 innings, I'm guessing. What are we doing in this one?
In my case, a hair of anything would be idiotic because you cut the beard. So Ashcraft and Hendricks here, and Hendricks is off a good start. But there's a really troubling stat on Kyle Hendricks this year, and that's the ground ball percentage. This guy's been a ground ball machine his entire career. He's not got a gut. He's never had blow-away stuff. He's a guy who generates soft contact, gets a lot of ground balls. His ground ball rate this year is considerably less than 40%. That's the worst it's ever been. His barrel rate is the highest it's ever been. I'm not buying him off one start. He did pitch well last time out. Ashcraft is kind of like a young version of Hendricks because he's definitely a pitch-to-contact guy, but he's a pitch-to-soft contact guy who gets a lot of ground balls. He's got a 57% ground ball rate so far, which is really good. And it kind of tells you that, hey, this guy might be okay. Not everybody is going to go out there and average more than a strikeout per inning. You have to know how to locate and get soft contact, and Ashcraft is doing a good job of that. One big caveat of the game tonight, it's not a big wind, but the breeze is blowing out at Wrigley. So the total is going to get bet over, and it might well get there. Most of the wind games at Wrigley this year, even ones like this where it's not a huge wind, they've been getting there. But I would lean. I'm only probably going to. I haven't played anything yet today, and I don't think I'm going to play this. But I'd have to lean to Ashcraft first 5. He's simply putting up better numbers than Hendricks is, and first 5 bets are basically on the starting pitching. You want to factor in the offenses as well to some extent, but it's mainly a starting pitcher bet, which is why I like it so much, because that's where my focus is. And I would have to lean to the Reds first 5 here.
So with those conditions you're talking about for tonight, where the wind is blowing out, it's supposed to be hazy, hot, and humid. These are hitters' conditions in Chicago. That's why we've seen this total get steamed up in early betting action today. Which of the two pitchers do you think is going to struggle with those conditions? Is Hendricks because he's been able to give up all the fly balls? Is that an additional factor in Cincinnati's favor? Or is the fact that we've got a young hurler just getting his feet wet in MLB with the wind blowing out in Wrigley? Is that something we're worried about?
No, I mean, I would lean to the guy who's getting more grounders. And right now, Ashcraft is like 20% more grounders than Hendricks is. So that, to me, is why I would lean Reds. I mean, it's tough to bet that team under any conditions, but it's also tough to bet the Cubs. Both teams are pretty bad. Interestingly enough, both offenses not bad over the last week. Reds are 116 WRC plus over the last 7 days. Cubs 106. Well, 100 is average. So, I guess I didn't make a strong case for the over, but that might ultimately be the best bet here. We'll see.
Dave Cokin, exclusive handicapper at WagerTalk.com. Dave, one last game to discuss, the Padres, Dodgers. What do we do in this one?
Well, let's see if Musgrove bounces back. He's off what this season is an extremely rare, not so hot start. Musgrove is one of the Cy Young contenders in the National League. He's having a great season. White's done, okay for the Dodgers. I think he's done what they hoped he would do. Give him a few innings. He's not going to go long. He's a 4 or 5 inning guy, and keep the team in the game. But the Dodgers do have some issues in the pitching staff right now. And they've got injury problems. They're going to be a playoff team, but they're not at their healthiest right now. Padres not hitting much right now. They did manage to get enough runs to hold on yesterday. Actually, have hit a little better the last couple of days. Cronenworth, who was in a miserable slump, I think he was 0 for 27 or something, had a couple of big hits last night. He can get hot. I give a slight edge to San Diego here. But again, this is one where the odds makers have basically told me, you're not going to get any value. If you want to bet it, you can bet it, but you're not going to get any value. Because for the Padres to be only plus 105 for the first 5 at L.A., well, I don't care if you got a big edge on the mound or not. That's not much of a price. So my opinion is Padres first 5. But I can't recommend betting it because you're just not getting what you should. You got to get plus 120 to make it worthwhile, and you're not going to get it.
So Musgrove off of that rough start. I mean, he's a guy who's been real solid all year. Where there's anything concerning off that last start that says, hey, maybe we got a red flag on this guy now. He has thrown a lot of innings and a lot of pitches so far this season. But was that just, one bad outing against a good hitting Phillies team, or is it any red flags there to worry about on Musgrove moving forward?
Nah, never on one start. If it's 2, then you start to look and say, well, what's going on here? But he just hung some pitches in that game. And, you hang pitches against major league hitters. Unless they play for the A's, they're probably going to do some damage. By the way, the A's are on an historic pace as far as on-base percentage is concerned. It could be, we'll see what happens, but it could be like the worst numbers in 60 years or something like that. I do like my position on the under wins prop with Oakland. I think it might be in good shape there. And I almost never say that. But, yeah, I'm live, and that's a 5% play. So, anyway, hey, it's the last day of the early bird football thing. And, I've told everybody I did not have a good season in college football last year. But that said, even with that, I'm still number 1 all time at WagerTalk in college football net profits. So, and I'm way ahead of the curve this year as far as my preseason preparation is concerned. Found a couple of good news sources that provide excellent information that I'm taking advantage of. And I can't wait for the season to start. But in the meantime, baseball and some Canadian football. I'm playing like 1 game a week, 2-0 so far. I didn't play the first week, but 2 easy winners, last 2, 1 easy winner and 1 that wasn't so easy, but I got there. And I believe I have decided on the game I will use this week, and I'll post it later today, but it's not on tonight's game.
Dave Cokin, awesome stuff. And Dave, at the poker tables this past week, somebody asked me, do handicappers really win? And I literally said, man, you play Dave Cokin's college football year in, year out, and you are going to win money. So, guys, take advantage of that $100 discount, lowest price we will have in football. It ends today. Dave, thanks for joining us, man. Teddy, we're going to take a quick break. We got a big show still to go. Andy Lang, Kyle Anthony, your big game breakdown, the daily presidential address. Stay with us, everyone.
Last chance for football? Wait, what? Who's thinking about buying football in June to lock in their NFL and college football picks? Well, with the super early bird football promotion at WagerTalk and Sports Memo, we have a few reasons why. Early bird pricing for the NFL and college football combo is $8.99. Using coupon code football100, you can take $100 off, dropping the price to $7.99. If you purchase by June 30th and use coupon code football100 to get your $100 discount, we will also toss in an additional bonus. On July 4th, we'll take the highest scoring MLB game of the day and give you $10 for every run scored. Last year, 2 games put up 15 runs, so that would mean $150 in free wager books to use how you choose. This super early bird $100 discount using Football 100 and Wager Bucks bonus expires on June 30th with no exceptions. So if you plan to bet football this year, this is the lowest price we will offer you, so act fast and lock in your favorite football handicappers in both NFL and college football through the National Championship and Super Bowl.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. Let's talk a little MLB. Up in Toronto, the Jays and the Rays facing off in an AL East showdown, a 5-game series up at the Rogers Center. Right now, look at the WagerTalk live odds screen. I'm seeing Toronto in the minus 120 range, minus 130 at some shops. Total 8.5 juice to the over. You can't lay a price with Toronto when Kikuchi's on the hill. All right, the Blue Jays are 36-24, playing 600 baseball in the games he doesn't start. They're 4-10 in the games that he does start. That's 600 baseball versus 285 baseball. That's like they're the Padres in games that he doesn't start and worse than the A's in games that he does. All right, so what's wrong with Kikuchi? Real simple. The home run to fly ball rate is too high, 21.3% this year. Unsustainably high, right? That means more than 1 out of every fly balls goes out of the park with Kikuchi on the hill. But last year in Seattle, all those West Coast dead ballparks, 20.6% home run to fly ball ratio. As a rookie in 2019, 18.8% home run to fly ball ratio. This is Kikuchi, man. He's a dinger allowed machine. I worry about Toronto being flat coming off that huge series against the Red Sox, losing yesterday in an extra. Bullpen concerns too for this game. Again, they lost 6-5 in 10 yesterday. Charlie Montoyo after the game, it's like playing a playoff game every day. That's how it feels. All right, good luck for that in the next series. The Rays aren't going to be flat here. They're off a terrible series against the Brewers. They got swept at home. They're locked in this brutal battle with Boston, Tampa, Toronto, all between 13 and 15 games behind the Yankees. Only 2 games separating those 3 teams in the standings. They get Kevin Kiermaier off the DL today. They went 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Stranded 9 runners on Wednesday, their last game. Kevin Cash, the manager, quote, "It's just not going to get done. We need to find ways to give our pitchers some more runs." I'm expecting Tampa to come out and play tonight. Now, Whistler's a dicey guy to back as your starting pitcher. Wouldn't argue with an over in this ball game. Kikuchi's a guy I want to fade. Give me Tampa. Give me some over. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Teddy, I am with you on the over, man, and I'll tell you, I think you guys should keep betting and looking to bet the over in the Toronto games right now until they get their bullpen some rest. Andy Lang joining us, and Andy, you're normally our last guest on. Today, you're right in the middle between Kyle and Cokin. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I was laughing getting prep for the show, and I was, we have to go through things we want to promote, and I was like, I'm on a 6-0 UFC run, and then I was like, who's going on behind me? It's like, oh, Kyle's up 88 units this year in UFC. I'll probably just leave that one off the board to talk about.
And there you go, everybody. Manipulation 101. When you get your message out without getting it out. Brilliantly done, Andy. Yeah, so, Prez, I was going to tell everybody that I was on a 6-0 run, but I'm not going to tell anybody that at all. Excellent. 10 out of 10, Andy. 10 out of 10.
Thank you, Prez.
Dude, John Deere Classic going on today. You got a bet for us on Brendan Todd. Tell us what's the bet?
Okay, so yeah, when I come on, I like to try and give out something that people can play right now, kind of reward the live audience. The tee times moved up, so this is going to go off at 1 o'clock Eastern time. But look at Brendan Todd over Lanto Griffin for the first round. In the last 6 tournaments they've played in together, Brendan Todd is 5-0-1 in the first round head-to-head. And Griffin is in a pretty big slump right now. He's missed the cut in 2 straight tournaments. He hasn't finished better than 51st in his last 5 tournaments. He doesn't play well here. He's missed the cut the last 2 years. The last time Brendan Todd played here, he finished 18th. And this course that they're playing at is these pros are going to absolutely tear it up. I mean, one guy right now is -8 through 14 holes. So it's a really easy course, huge fairways, and it comes down to putting, like who gets the hot putter. Well, Griffin is 63rd best on tour in putting. Brendan Todd is 6th. So the most important stat of the week, we have a big advantage with Brendan Todd. That goes off here in about 30 minutes. So if you want a little action on the golf tournament, John Deere, go grab Brendan Todd over Lanto Griffin for the first round.
Todd over Griffin in golf in a matchup that starts, as you mentioned, 20 minutes from now or less. Let's talk a little racing. Chase Elliott, Road America. George Russell, British Grand Prix. You want to put that duo together. Tell me why.
Well, first off, these are 2 really bettable races. I'm very excited. We've hit 63% of our auto racing plays this year. So this is a weekend we've had circled. So we'll start with Chase Elliott. I'm going to take him top 5 to finish at Road America. So they raced here last year. This is the only time they've raced here in a long time. He won it going away. He was the most dominant car and driver by far. This guy's won 7 out of the last 16 road courses in NASCAR, which is an incredible feat. He's the number 1 road course driver right now in NASCAR, and it's really not even close. I took the average of some of the other road courses they've raced at, Road America, Sonoma, Watkins Glen, Circuit of Champions the last couple years. His average finish on all these tracks is 2.7. The next best guy is 9.3. So this guy is in a tier all by himself. If he has a bad pit stop or if he runs off the course or if he has a bad qualifying run, he has no problem running through the entire field. He did it last year. So I'm going to just take him top 5 instead of an outright winner. I don't like playing outrights in NASCAR. So take him top 5. And then, Prez, you know this very well. George Russell top 6 bet. Yeah. The reason we're taking it is it's hit every race. He's finished 5th.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's an incredible streak. 5th or better in every single race this season. Mercedes is looking to upgrade a little bit this week. They have very high expectations for their cars this week. You just keep playing George Russell. It's been one of the most incredible parlay pieces all year. You can put it with, just about anything. So because we've been doing so well in racing, I'm going to take Chase Elliott top 5 and George Russell top 6 this Sunday.
Andy Lang joining us. Andy, you got a nice futures bet for us in the NFL, and it's so great to be talking NFL right now. The New York Jets. What is that?
Well, I found this one on DraftKings, and it's a pretty fun one. Under 2 division wins. Well, all right, so this is a team that has 0 division wins the last 2 years combined. And I know they've made some upgrades. I know they've added some more weapons, but their schedule is not very great. They're going to start off with 4 games against the AFC North, and then they go at Green Bay, at Denver, home New England, home Buffalo, at New England. They play Miami earlier in the year, and then they get Miami in the last game of the season. If Josh Allen is playing, I don't see how they beat Buffalo. Belichick absolutely dominates them. So I think in order for this to even get a tie, they're definitely going to have to take Miami in the last game of the year. Maybe something wonky happens there, but their schedule to start off is really brutal for a young team that's trying to add, draft picks and young guys. I don't see a great year for the Jets. Their season win totals at 5.5. I don't see how they get to 3 wins. At worst, I think this ties. Not a Zach Wilson believer at all. So I think this is a fun one that you can sprinkle. Jets under 2 division wins.
Sure. I know that a number of bettors that I've talked to are really attacking these division wins. Because there's just not a lot of leeway. You put a 1.5, they're going to get a ton of over money. You put a 2, you're going to get a ton of under money. You put a 2.5. There's the numbers are really, really tight. It's almost like hockey totals where there's just no variance.
Right.
What kind of juice are you looking at laying with the under too? Because it feels to me like this is one of those that no one's betting the over. Absolutely no one. Is this one of those deals you can still get it reasonably priced, or you're laying $2 on juice right now?
No, it's not $2 on juice. I'd have to look it up, but I didn't see it more than minus 120 on DraftKings last night when I was doing the write up. It was actually one of them that I thought was pretty well priced. So, but yes, you're right. There's a lot of them that are very juiced that I totally ignored. But this one stuck out to me, and I don't know. There's got to be some Jets fans that that take the over on this. You know how this goes. Some guys are talking like, I don't know. I like Zach this year. I like the draft. They're going to do it. This is our. Come on. You know how fans are. They're absolutely going to take some over money from some fans on this.
The Jets fans are betting the under.
They should be betting the under, but
any group of fans. Of any group of fans, they are so beat up. Somehow or other, I found my way into the Jets fan Facebook page. So I see the anger and frustration on a regular basis.
Compared to the Browns fans or the Lions fans or the Jaguars. I mean, there's so many fan bases in the NFL that are beat up.
Yes.
Detroit's pretty beat up. Detroit's pretty bad. The Detroit fan base is pretty beat up. Yeah, actually, going into this year with all that, yeah, Cleveland might be the most depressed and disgusted right now for a whole lot of levels.
Yeah, now they got it. Anyway, let's not get into Deshaun Watson. Andy, what else you got before we let you go?
Well, we got a 5% MLB play that is up for tonight. We're on a nice 27-13 MLB run. Even dating back to last year, we're doing really, really well. Like I mentioned, 63% auto racing plays this year. And since March 1st, we are up 164 units, all sports. So we're just kind of seeing all the sports really, really good right now. Golf is running well, UFC, auto racing, MLB. So we're in a really good spot. Proud of all the work that we've been doing.
Awesome stuff. Andy Lang, everyone. Andy, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. I'm off next week, going on tour with the Grateful Dead. Speaking of which, Dylan and the other gentleman, how was Pine Knob last night? Teddy, Kyle Anthony coming on, man. Calm the heart rates, all you women out there. Kyle, what's up, dude?
Listen, I'm ready for Vegas, man. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the WagerTalk gathering. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. What about you? You ready or what?
Yeah, dude, I'm excited, man. I'm really pumped to see Andy Lang.
What? That's your favorite UFC guy now. I know. That's your favorite UFC guy now.
No. That's my favorite guy, period, man. Period. Not UFC. No, I'm kidding, man. I can't wait to see you, dude. I hope you're a hugger, because I'm going to want a hug.
Usually.
Okay. Only
the whole
Teddy.
time Kyle's on the show, Prez, you're just hitting on him. Like the entire time you're talking, you're like flirting with Kyle. So I imagine when you see him, it'll get even worse. Yeah, exactly.
You know what, Teddy? I appreciate God's work. What can I tell you? Dylan, Andrew writes, Pine Knob was awesome. Dylan writes, Pine Knob was rocking. Missed you on the hill. And guys, I almost made it down to Pine Knob as well. Anyway, Kyle Anthony, how you doing in UFC? Andy mentioned that you're up like over 80 units. You're killing it, right?
Yeah, man. Having a good year. There's been, 22 events this year. I've cashed in 15 of them. Said over 80 units on the year. Got a 5% this weekend. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Going to be traveling again, Prez. I feel good, man. It's a good life.
Man, I just got hit up by HR at WagerTalk. They're like, stop flirting with Kyle. Have you been complaining?
In Vegas, I need to sit down and have a dinner with HR. I got a lot of things to talk about.
Jack Straw, China Rider. Oh, man, they better play China Rider on my tour, on my shows. Okay, Israel. By the way, Kyle, Israel is spelt with an A before the E, not an E before the A. This guy is pound for pound number one fighter on the planet as far as I'm concerned. This is an almost unstoppable force. Minus 490 by punch time, it could be at the 700 mark. I don't know how anyone is going to bet Jared. Do you take Israel for a knockout under 1.5 rounds? How do you attack this fight?
Well, that's definitely you got to definitely look for a different angle here. I mean, you got Israel, who's elite level kickboxing, top level kickboxing as it comes, and you know what I mean. The one big thing he does in a lot of his fights is faking and feinting and utilizing that reach, and he's really able to kind of draw out a lot of the attacks from opponents. While Cannonier, he's fought in 3 different weight classes. He's big for the division. He's a big guy, big, strong guy. Now, the one thing that everyone's going to kind of point to, if Cannonier is going to win, is maybe the grappling. Is maybe can he get him down? Can he muscle him down? Can he utilize some ground and pound? And the one thing that Israel's really done is he's really elevated that. He's really gotten much better. I mean, he's got a 72% takedown defense rate, but we've seen him get smothered. But definitely over the last few fights, he's been able to kind of defend them, scramble, get back to his feet, get back to space, and utilizing the leg kicks. But the one big thing and the biggest issue for Jared is really going to be the movement. And you've seen Jared against Gaslam, against Whitaker. He struggles with movement. He really wants to dig in. He wants to set down, throw some big shots, and that's going to be a problem for him. That's definitely going to be a problem for him. But the big part of it is going to be allowing the fact that Israel to get space. And that's where I think that this fight starts to go a little bit further, where he's going to utilize a 3-inch reach advantage. It's going to be tough for him to cut distance. He's going to have to get around some of that movement, some of that footwork that Israel does have. And also the fact that you've seen Israel definitely becoming a lot more comfortable with point fighting. Now, it's not that he's not a killer, but he's definitely comfortable with some of the point fighting, working from the outside. If it presents itself as a finish or he hurts his opponent, he will go in. But when he knows that there's that opportunity for a takedown, he definitely keeps a little bit more of a distance. Against Paulo Costa, he didn't really worry about that. He could move forward. He could fire. He knew that he had the big reach advantage. There were so many advantages for there. Where this is a spot here where I think that Cannonier is durable. I think he can take some shots and keep going, even if he's losing every round or whatever it may be. He's going to have to land a big shot to really hurt Israel and cut that distance. And also the fact that the threat of the takedown, that will definitely keep Israel a little bit more away from space, a little bit more distance, and that could also extend the fight. And if you look at the fact of Cannonier has 12 out of his last 12 fights, he's 8-4, and over those 4 losses, he was only finished once, while Israel, out of his last 10, has got 3 finishes. So, and over his last 3, he went 2-1, and all 3 went to a decision. So if it presents itself, he will take that path. If he knows he can get the finish, he will also go for that. So there's definitely spots for that. And both of them have good cardio. So I think this is a spot where over time, over the amount of the fight, Israel's going to start working the legs, taking some of that power away from Cannonier, and just starting to pick him apart over 5 rounds. I don't think he's willing to stand in the pocket, trade. I don't think that's going to be smart. He's way too smart for that also. So I think he will allow the fight to come to him, work at distance. And I think getting off, like you said, the -400, 500 number, Israel via points is +130. Right now I'm seeing it more tilting down to +120 now. I think that's a great price. I think that's a good price. You're getting off the big number. And I think that that's where this fight's going to go. So I think there's a lot of value in that number.
Look at Israel by decision in the main event on Saturday night here in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. Let's talk about an undercard battle for Saturday night. That would be Uriah Hall and Andre Muniz. Muniz, what, about the open -240. Now I'm seeing -350 and higher out there. So he's taking a fair bit of money. Total 1.5 to the under. Sounds like the betting marketplace expects a short fight in this one. How are you? What's your handicap?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely agreeing towards that. This is your classic grappler versus striker matchup here where, Muniz is going to look for the takedowns. He's going to look to set the pace that way, get him up against the fence, submission hunt, while Hall is going to look for, his kickboxing, utilize some of his power moves there, and he definitely has some explosiveness to him. But the big part here is that Muniz is big for the division. He's a big guy for the division. He could really muscle opponents down. He looks to put the pressure on. His striking is very iffy, and that's, if there's anywhere that Hall could find success, is probably there, where he's going to look to defend the takedowns and use some of his striking. But the one thing about Muniz is that he is a guy that will relentlessly push for the takedowns. He's not a kind of guy that sometimes they'll fall in love with their striking and they'll say, hey, I'm going to just keep, I feel great in the gym. Let me try some of the striking. Muniz is not going to do that. You know what he's getting. He knows that the path of least resistance is going to be the takedowns. He's going to have to push forward. And again, the kickboxing of Hall is his path. That is the way that he's going to be going. But the big issue with that also is that he has extremely, extremely low output. And that, to me, is really where Muniz is going to find success, because these lapses in time, these lapses in activity are really going to be tough for him, because that's where he's going to shoot. Muniz is relentless. He's explosive when it comes to his takedowns. That first step he has is really good. Those are the things I think that he can start to have success. And there's times where Hall has backpedaled, put his back up against the fence. That's hurt him. And the limited movement also of Hall. So not only does Hall not really have much activity as the output, but his movement is very slow as well too. Again, presenting more opportunities for the level changing. And then also we've seen Hall get controlled in certain spots on grappling, and it's also took his cardio down too. So not only that it's a weakness, but it lowers his gas tank as well too. Also, you saw Sean Strickland took him down 4 times. And I take Muniz as probably a little bit better on takedowns. So I think he could look for that and to exploit that as well, too. And also, Hall is 37 years old. He's no spring chicken at this point anymore. There's points where he's looked very unmotivated, like he almost doesn't care when he's hurt or anything. He kind of just falls apart. If you've seen him ever in interviews, he looks miserable a lot of the times there, too. So if you look at Muniz, out of 22 victories, he's got 15 by submission. He's 4-0 in the UFC. 3 have come by submission. So like you're saying, I don't think this goes to the cards. I think that Muniz is going to have success. You're getting off this big number, have success, pushing forward, getting the takedowns. I like submission victory here. You're getting anywhere from minus 110 to plus 105, roughly around there. I think that's a great number here for a guy who's it's his main path against somebody else who is a complete striker, and I think there's value there too. So getting off this big number, I think he finds the finish and gets the submission.
Awesome job, Kyle Anthony. We love having you on, man. We got to keep bringing you on while these fights are happening. Anything to promote?
This week, I said I got a 5% package up there now, 11-4 over the last 15 months on 5% best bets. Excited to see how this goes down. And also, this is the most plays I will ever release on one package. There's just so many spots I like and strong positions. So I already have 4 loaded up right now, and I'm definitely going to be having more. So take a look at WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, guys, make sure to play Kyle Anthony's UFC. Kyle, thanks for joining us. Teddy, yesterday we didn't make 100 likes, and then there was a mad rush, but by that time it was too late. Today we were at 100 before half an hour in. Dan, cue it up, baby. All right, it's time for the daily presidential address. The second one in a week and a bit, but the last one for the next little while. Just a quick shout out to Steve Merrill. He'll be hosting a Wager Talk Today with Teddy on Friday. That's tomorrow and all of next week. A happy Canada Day to all Canadians. Happy 4th of July to all Americans. I am disappearing till next Saturday. I'll be in Boston, Hartford, and Saratoga Springs. Hit me up on DM if you're going to any of the Grateful Dead shows in those 3 towns. Also, make sure to bet my baseball, guys. It's been like an absolute onslaught of wins in baseball since the beginning of the season. I've avoided slumps. I'm on a 4-1 run right now, 16-7 run. I got another play up tonight, and it is a dog Here are two bets I'm making for you, gentlemen, tonight. One tomorrow, one tonight. I'm going right back to the well. Tampa Bay and Toronto over the total. I told you guys I'm going to be playing the over in Toronto games moving forward until they can get a pitcher. Listen, Manoah went deep yesterday, but that bullpen is exhausted. The other one is in tennis. Tomorrow, John Isner plus 150, and that goes tomorrow. Thank you all for watching Wager Talk today. Teddy, enjoy Steve Merrill, my friend, and take us home.
Sure, that's going to wrap it for the Thursday edition of Wager Talk Today. I want to thank Kyle, Anthony, Andy Lang, and Dave Cokin for joining us. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to spend with us right here on Wager Talk TV. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same time, same channel, 9 a.m. here on the left coast, noon for you back east. Between now and then, enjoy the games and good luck.
Last chance for football? Wait, what? Who's thinking about buying football in June to lock in their NFL and college football picks? Well, with the super early bird football promotion at WagerTalk and Sports Memo, we have a few reasons why. Early bird pricing for the NFL and college football combo is $8.99. Using coupon code football100, you can take $100 off, dropping the price to $7.99. If you purchase by June 30th and use coupon code football100 to get your $100 discount, we will also toss in an additional bonus. On July 4th, we will take the highest scoring MLB game of the day and give you $10 for every run scored. Last year, 2 games put up 15 runs, so that would mean $150 in free wager bucks to use how you choose. This super early bird $100 discount using Football 100 and Wager Bucks bonus expires on June 30th with no exceptions. So if you plan to bet football this year, this is the lowest price we will offer you, so act fast and lock in your favorite football handicappers in both NFL and college football through the National Championship and Super Bowl.